Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for being here. Back with another version, another edition of Get Off My Lawn. This is where we talk to fellow collectors, people we've seen in the chats, people that we've talked with, and just try to get to know them a little bit more. Who are they as people? Who are they as collectors? That whole thing. So I thank everybody for being here. I know it's really early Saturday morning. A lot of you are probably still sleeping and maybe catching the replay. I don't know. I know KJ's here. Thanks for being here, KJ. But it's 10:30 at night here in Tokyo. My wife kind of wants me to wrap this up a little bit in the same vein as last week, kind of within the hour. So I'm going to do my best, and hopefully our guest speaks quickly so we can get a lot of info out of him and get things rolling. So if you read the description of today's episode, we have a bit of a legend in the man cave manosphere, I guess. This is a dude who's been on Figure Fight Club. Shout out to them for quite a bit, and that's how I crossed paths with him. He was gracious enough to go live one night and show off his man cave, and it was extremely impressive. So after a little bit of begging on my part, a little bit of pleading, a little bit of crying, he finally acknowledged that I'm a little bit of a pussy, and he acknowledged and accepted my invitation. So, without further ado, we're going to bring him on. Please welcome Jedeyeben. What's going on,
Hello.
man?
What's up?
Glad you're here, man. Really
Oh,
glad.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the compliments. So,
Well, we see what you look like. Normally, we don't know what you look like. We see you in the Figure Fight Club chat all the time.
oh yeah.
Um, how long you been kind of stalking those chats?
Ah, y- honestly, like I hadn't followed anybody or really done any of the YouTube stuff for ever. And then it was probably right after COVID. And I was on something and I was like, oh hey, what's this? And then that just kind of that rabbit hole of, oh hey, then this and that. And I just like the content or talking about stuff, learning stuff from people, interesting conversations. So
Cool. Nice. So I'm going to highlight and spotlight you for a moment just to kind of give everybody a little bit of an idea of what we're dealing with here. Look right behind this guy. What do you got there behind you?
that is a flag,
Okay.
100%. Um,
100% complete. A
yeah,
flag. How many of
that
them you
I
got?
two. Yeah. The other one is probably 80%. It's missing a few things that I took for this one to finish it out. And I mean that's the whole thing. And in
Now,
all
how
honesty, I haven't unpacked all of my Joes. So hopefully I'll find more parts to complete that one too. So
how long have you had this flag?
this flag I bought in the 90s for 20 bucks.
Man.
Yep. I gave the kid 40 just because I felt so bad. It was the guy I worked with, and he was like, just take it. I don't want it. I was like, oh, here's 40 bucks at least. Go buy yourself dinner.
Wow.
I mean,
Living the
clearly,
dream back in the 90s, man.
yeah. I mean, they weren't, it wasn't so crazy then, but still, that was like a dream find, in the
Oh, yeah.
wild. So
Yeah.
it was just conversation at work, and oh, hey, I've got one of those. You do? And there you go.
Now, are you still friends with this guy?
I mean, I see him from time to time around town, but we don't talk by any means. So, I
He's
mean, we say
holding a
hi.
grudge, right? He doesn't
No, no,
like the fact that you
we
took
say
it.
hi. We're friendly, but our paths don't cross,
Yeah.
anymore. So,
Okay.
I mean, that was what 30 years ago. So,
Yeah. A long
'cause
time ago.
that was probably in 95.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, as a kid, did you have a flag?
No, no, I had the Terrordrome, and I think everything else, like up until 90 or probably 90. Me and my brother every year for Christmas, that's what we got were Joe's. Um, he would get one half and I would get the other. And then it ended up he didn't want any of it, so I just kept it, you know. I have
Okay.
all my childhood stuff. I never got rid of anything for good or for worse, I guess. But
What's the
um,
condition of the stuff from your childhood? Pretty
well,
good?
mine's pretty pristine. His
Okay.
not so much. Uh, he was a little rough on things, and same thing like and my I've the OCD and whatnot would come out when I put stickers on and everything, and he was not that detailed oriented at the time, which is funny because now he's an engineer that does his own thing. So
He made up
um
for it.
yep, yep.
So
So
where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Indiana, Terre Haute, Indiana.
Terre Haute.
Yep.
So you were a basketball player or no?
I Yeah, I played a little bit.
Yeah.
Not on the high school team, a lot of other other teams and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
nothing special. So
Okay. Now we all know the collector. Has he made an appearance? Have you had to
no,
alert the authorities yet, or
I have not seen him around.
he's
Haven't heard from
lurking?
him.
He lurks. Trust me.
Well, anytime he came by, he'd be welcome.
Oh,
Mm,
oh, we got to clip that.
yeah, gonna have to clip it.
Yeah,
Um,
use it.
I
He'll
I
use
kind
it
of
in his defense in court.
well,
I
that's
was
the funny
welcome.
part. I live out in the middle of nowhere, so
I
if
think
you're
he
out
does too.
here, yeah, if you're out here, we'll know it. So,
Yeah. All right, man. So, like I said, this is us getting to know who people are,
yeah.
and tell us about yourself. Tell us about your childhood. What did you play with as a kid?
Ah, man. So when I was, a kid, my parents were divorced. I had I guess it would be the 80s lifestyle of divorced parents and two Christmases, two birthdays. But it was weird because it was polar opposite ends of the spectrum on financials. So at my mom's, it was a lot of makeup for not being there. When every other weekend we get a new figure or a new vehicle, and then I had cut grass all weekend. So it was all a lot of grass cutting to earn the stuff. Um, but it was Joe's when I was, probably early 80s before Joe's really kind of came mainstream, 82. Um, I was getting Star Wars stuff like everybody. I didn't have a ton of it because my dad was broke. Um, Thanks to my mom. But
Throw that in there.
yeah, I did. It's all good, but uh what do I want to say? I remember he told me one year for going into Christmas, because like everybody our age, we got out the wish book and we'd circle everything that we wanted,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's like, Bub, I just can't I need you to pick one. And by that it was probably like 1983 by then. And of course then Joe's, I was like, "Oh, they've got more stuff, and they do the swivel arm battle grip, that was the thing." So my life kind of steered that way. I was more Joe oriented from then on. I'd pick up, mask and uh other not main line, but random lines, mask
Mhm.
and still Star Wars here and there that I'd buy on my own with birthday money or something. But um mostly Joe's.
Okay.
And then when, like I said, my brother, and that's what we kind of always played with, so that's what we stuck with. And
You
then,
guys played together, or you just kind of played on your own?
well, yeah, we play together. It was my stepbrother, so we only saw each other like every other weekend. And when we got together, we were just a couple years apart, so that was in our wheelhouse. And
Yeah.
you had the epic battles outside in the yard, and whatever, and I always won, of course. because I'm the
Yeah.
older brother. Poor guy.
It's funny, you say that once GI Joe kind of got on your radar, that was it. And that was sort of the same for
Yeah,
me. I don't think a
yeah.
lot of people who weren't there in the 80s kind of know what it was like at that point.
No, I don't
Star
either.
Wars was king, He-Man had a little bit of a run, but
Yeah,
once
just
GI Joe
just
appeared
a
on the
little.
scene, like that was it.
That
That
was
was
it.
it.
But
Yeah.
it was the vehicles. You had
Yeah.
a play set or whatever you want to say, but you could tell a story with it
Yep.
in your play or whatever you want to say. And man, it was just so much fun when we were kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still kind of is now.
Eh,
Not in the same way, but just on the collecting side. So, but it's that
so-
nostalgia that keeps me going in this stuff because it's like, oh man, I remember, whatever. So you
well,
have
I
that
think
moment.
that's the thing that drives all of us, right? It's that
Yeah,
love and nostalgia of our youth. So,
yeah. I mean, I don't
uh,
really know why you would be that into it, if not. I mean, I guess if you weren't in the age range that the stuff came out, but you could find a way into it. But for
sure.
me, it's the nostalgia.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then a little bit the obsessive compulsive comes out,
We all have it. We all
yeah,
have it.
it's the completionist. That's why I think you've asked me before, about collecting what 1/6 and stuff, and man, I don't want to put my toes in that pond. So you know,
But it's coming.
yeah. Well, you inevitably see something that just like, oh, I like that.
Oh, just the tip.
Just
Just
the
the
tip.
tip.
That's right. And then it's, oh man, it's
Then it's
just a
game over, man. Game
yeah,
over.
spiral down the rabbit hole. So
Yeah. All right. So you were into toys, you were playing with toys, G.I. Joe was your thing, it was your bag.
yeah,
How did you
comics,
transition how did you
cartoons.
transition from, like, just playing with toys to becoming a collector?
Okay, so I think every every one of us has had that moment, when you were a kid that, oh, I'm too old, I'm too cool to play with toys. I don't want girls to see it or, whatever.
Yeah.
And so you kind of stop, your childhood collecting stops. And that's what happened. I think probably 92. Um, I was probably 13, going on 14, and I'm a big car guy. So I was starting on my first car, 67 Camaro. I had to restore it. My dad and I did it. I started on it when I was 14. We'd already had the car. It was my mom's old drag car. And so like for one, money was gone, so I didn't collect. Two, I wasn't interested in it because of, girls and cars being, coming on 16. So then probably a couple years after that, probably about 95, about the time I picked up the flag, I was getting back into it. And then, again, always a big Star Wars guy. So when the Power of the Force 2 line came back out, I was all in. It's like, oh hey, I had a couple buddies that we'd go on toy runs, and it was just what we did. It was fun, the hunt, for whatever.
Mhm.
And the stories that it was a different way of being a kid again.
Yeah.
Um, and that's just what we did was got into that. And of course, like I said, my OCD kicks in and down the rabbit hole we go again. And that's where I've been for the last 30 years. So
Okay.
a couple breaks. I think we like
Yeah.
to call them kids, here and there that, financially it wasn't responsible. Not that it ever has been, but um, so I slowed down a couple times, but you always go in the toy aisle and you always do that.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but
So
I've
your wheelbarrow has always been like Star Wars, G.I. Joe. Have you ever
Star
had
Wars,
anything
GI Joe,
else in there?
a little bit of G1 Transformers when they came out, of course. Mask, some other odds and ends I've got over on a shelf there, but nothing by by large to compete with what I've got. So
Mhm.
Star Wars and GI Joe,
Okay.
which yeah, like we talked, is kind of, gotta change the whole brand now. Jedeyeben
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
work,
yeah.
and
We'll get into
yeah.
that. We'll get into that. So, as a collector, you were collecting. Would you say you were actively collecting when you met your wife, or was this something after you were kind of comfortable and settled down a little bit? You
Yeah,
got
no,
back in?
I was actively collecting, and that was so. Uh, we got together in 2000, so I had a good amount of Star Wars then. Of course, there wasn't any GI Joe really hitting the market then.
No, not really.
Um, but yeah, when we met, I wasn't, I had slowed down then. Just financially, it wasn't feasible, and I had just had a young daughter, and it just wasn't in the cards. So, but I had all my stuff, so same
Mm.
thing. She
What
knew
was
what
her
she was getting
reaction? What
into.
was her reaction to it, though?
She's like, "Oh my." But, she knew. I mean, she understood, so,
Yeah.
and she's really good about it, and I'm not gonna say I don't get an eye roll or 10, but, she understands, and she supports it for what it's
Oh, it's
worth.
good. It's
Yeah,
good. Yeah. Mine
if
doesn't.
sh
I've said it
well
before, mine doesn't.
oh,
So,
really? Yeah.
no.
Uh, I gotcha. I mean,
But,
if she didn't, I wouldn't have all this. So, I mean, I
if
think
my
that's how it goes.
if my wife supported me, I would have way more than I have, and what I have right now is borderline, like, you know, completely irresponsible, you know,
Well, we wanna
because of
talk
just
about
where I live.
irresponsible. Yeah, yeah,
Where I
well,
live, there's just no
yeah,
space, you
yeah,
know?
there are some definite, boundaries on that, I'm sure, or some limitations.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
big
and
time,
that's just
big
my
time.
overall assumption of living in Japan, so.
Yeah. Now, have you ever been to Japan?
No, I have not. No. I've wanted to go and have just never made it.
And is this something that you're going to remedy in the near future or what?
I would like to, yeah. I would like to. And I had honestly just talked about it with my wife. Um, on another channel, they do a ancient civilizations thing that I kinda dig. So they were doing
Mhm,
like a tour. They'd just gone to Egypt, and they're doing a Japan one here pretty soon. It was, like a tour package for a certain amount
mhm.
and blah blah blah. And I was like, "Hey, what do you think?"
Don't do a
So
tour package, man.
yeah, I know, but this was on a certain pathway,
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Okay,
And just for sake of ease, and it's with a trusted guide. How's that? So,
okay.
but
Now,
I don't know if it's going to happen. It might not be in the cards
do
either
you
right now.
travel at
So
all? Do you get around?
mostly in the States. We've gone to Canada, um, but and the Bahamas, and that's about it. No Europe,
Yeah.
you know.
But no urge, no pull to do it either, so
No, not really. Um, I mean, yeah, you would love to go to a certain place here or there, but um I don't know. I think it's gotta be a special thing, and what is that to everybody? And,
yeah.
mine may not align with my wife's taste, so, there's always that, but, I'm always understanding and she's always understanding, so we always kinda, bridge
Japan
that
tends
gap
to
if we
kind
need
of
to.
align with both people, though,
Yeah.
because you get the beautiful culture, you get the great food, but you also get a lot of geeky stuff too,
Yeah, yeah,
and and history as well. So
yeah,
yeah. All right, man. So getting into figures, because we did talk a little bit before we went on.
yeah.
Um, you've been a Star Wars collector. Where is that now in your life?
Well, I mean, I think current state of it, in my opinion, is that it's dead. It's seen its day, and it's down a path that I'm not going. Um, So I've I've pretty much I don't do anything modern Star Wars, uh, Disney Star Wars by any means. Um, it's just not my taste. It's not captivated me or held its grasp on me, so I've moved on.
The passion
For
isn't there.
that, yep, that's right. I still love the old stuff. I'll still watch, the original trilogy and even the sequels or the prequels, I guess you would say. I'll still watch them, um, over and over again, but it's more off of the nostalgia point. I've got the memories of going to the midnight openings and all that stuff, and that's the fun thing. So,
Hmm.
and I still love the movies, the original ones. It's still
Hmm.
fun for me. New
Hmm.
stuff, not at all. I can't even stomach most of it. So
So your collecting for Star Wars has almost exclusively just been Hasbro, though?
yeah, I mean, there's some random stuff. I mean, I liked all the peripheral stuff, the signage and just
Hmm.
random stuff, whatever it was. Oh hey, that's oh hey, whatever, and
Yeah.
you'd pick it up along the way, but it's nothing. Again, nothing really 1/6, or I've got a 1-to-1 Darth Maul over there, but that's about it.
You don't have any Mafex or Figuarts
No, I
left
mean,
over.
I used to really like the sideshow stuff. I mean, that's years ago, but I never got into it, so it never led me into that Mafex, and or as you say, Mafex. Got that?
Mafex.
There you go. Um, so I never, like I said, it's kind of a rabbit hole for me, and it takes a real dedication, or what do I want to say? You know, just I'm not inclined to collect it because if I do, bad things will happen financially.
Uh-huh.
So
Well, that's sorta how travel is, getting back to that
yeah,
earlier topic, once you
yeah,
start traveling, if you enjoy where you go, at least, initially, you're gonna
yeah.
wanna keep going and wanna keep moving, and then it's gonna dominate your
Well,
purse,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
you're done, you're toast.
There's only so much time and there's only so much money. So
Yeah.
it's where do you allocate which, where, and how. So
Yep.
and obviously collecting is a big expense if you let it get that way. And I
Mhm.
kind of think I have sometimes, but and then I've got other hobbies, like I said, cars and such that are not cheap either. So you kind of bounce around, or I do, and that's why I never got into that market. So
Okay.
it's just trying to be, I can't think of the word right now, but just trying to be, you know, held back a little bit, you know, um, and not go down that route.
Mhm.
I love this stuff. Do not get me wrong. I think it's brilliant. I think most of the stuff that I see is gorgeous, and I love the detail. I love the engineering on some of it. Um, I just have not gotten down that. I was stuck on 3 3/4. I think based off of GI Joe, and then the Power of the Force line, vintage collection, and all the original trilogy stuff back in the day when I was a kid. So I never got out of that. I've got a few 12-inch things here and there, but nothing past that.
So, as a collector, you're kind of weaning off of, obviously, Star Wars, and
Oh
you're
yeah.
not much of a classified guy, is that correct?
No, I've got pretty much all the classifieds too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else that kind of catches your eye now in terms of what's out there in the market?
Ah, I try not to look. How's that? There are a lot of things I like, but it comes
Uh-huh.
down to money, and if I collect one, I've got to cut the other, and I don't really want to cut the other necessarily sometimes. So
You are probably the most disciplined collector I've ever
yes,
met in my
discipline. That's the word I was looking for. And yeah, well, if we want to do it, I would like to say responsibly, it requires discipline. You
Hmm.
know, you have to know when to say no, and you have to know when to say yes. And it's hard to say no sometimes, but you know, I think we tend to make it work. Um, Most collectors.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then there are times you see people, and mine might be that way to other people, you know, that you're like, how do you do that? Mine has always just been, you know, a long-term passion. You know, I'm 50 years old and I've collected pretty much all of it, you know,
Yeah.
whether it's, you know, a lot or just a couple pieces here or there, but once you accumulate it over 50 years, it's a lot. So,
Mm,
um,
absolutely.
I think Star Wars has kind of proven that there can be an end to it. Um, and that has happened for them or for that with me personally, but I'm still going on Joe's. I still love the vintage. You know, so if there's a piece that I find that's in better shape, or you know, I picked up a carded Zarana version 2 the other day for a good price. It was pretty
Now,
mint.
what is version 2? What does that mean?
Just the second head later in the
Okay, because
line.
I had
Yeah, yeah,
both heads when I was a kid,
yes, yeah.
and I was like, "Why does this have two different
Right,
heads?"
right. Well, yeah, I think I've got both loose, but I don't have much of a carded collection, Joe. You know, carded Joe collection.
Mhm.
So it's just a couple figures here and there as I pick them up in the wild, not at not really at a toy show or anything. I think this came from some guy's basement that his dad had picked up on clearance aisles over the years, and it ended up at a buddy of mine's comic shop a couple weeks ago. And I think I got a carded Superpowers, 1985 Superpowers Wonder Woman that's pretty mint.
Wow.
And then I got that Zorana. And then he had some uh Mego Chips figures, 3 3/4,
Oh, yeah?
which for a Joe collector, that's kind of where it started. Because they use those, they kit bash those in the pitch meeting to create GI Joe,
Uh-huh.
that Mego line.
Yeah.
Um, so I was like, oh yeah, you know, found those two, and they're still on card, and they're still pretty good looking. So
Do you have any non-American GI Joe stuff?
no, I don't. I like some of the Japan, the original release stuff. I like the box
Mhm.
art. I love box art. Um, which is funny because I never kept any of my childhood boxes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, I've got a couple that I found in an attic, but most of them got trashed.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have any. I do not have any overseas stuff really.
Okay. Yeah, the GI Joe stuff for a bit of time here, it was really easily available,
Really.
meaning, like, you could find almost everything at a somewhat reasonable price.
Yeah.
And then I would say when the classified line really started going, like when it first launched, it was kind of a mixed bag. People didn't like the style. There
Yeah.
was a long delay. Stuff got canceled on people, like certain orders. Um, During that time, you could still find the Takara Tomy figures. Snake Eyes was obviously the exception, and Zartan, because Zartan is the only time you can get him carded
Oh, really?
was on the Japanese card, because otherwise he came with the Swamp Bike or whatever it was called.
Swamp skier. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But then all of a sudden it just shut up, and I was like, all right, I'm out. Because I kept looking, and I'm like, do I go down this rabbit hole myself? Do I
Yeah.
do that? Because then I'm all in, right? Like I can't
Right.
buy
Right.
five and not get everything.
No.
So just like,
And yeah, it's too hard to, not, you
it's
know.
tough. The
Yes.
struggle is real.
So, that's that same feeling for me with the Mafex and the art. And, as much as I love it, man, if I go down that route, I'm in trouble. So,
Well, the benefit of the Mafex, at least when it comes to Star Wars, is they only put out like a handful of Star Wars at most a year.
yeah.
So you're not overwhelmed. When they do it, they're generally doing kind of like the definitive version of that character that's out there. Unlike Hasbro, where you're gonna get like six, seven,
Six,
10
yeah.
iterations of the same thing. Mafex tends to kind
Yeah.
of wait a
Just
little
do
bit
the
and then do it.
the perfect one. Yeah.
Yeah, at least their Boba Fett's are incredible. Like the
Yeah, I've
Jedi
seen
and the
those.
Empire ones, they're great.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we can transition now. Like you've got a lot. Is there a Grail out there for you that you're looking for that you don't have in your collection?
A Defiant. I still do not have a GI Joe Defiant.
Wow, you've never had a Defiant.
No. Um, and same thing with the flag when I was a kid. I remember going to Hill's department store. I don't know if you had those in Boston,
No.
or know those. They were great. For those of you that do, Hills are where the toys are at. Um, but I remember for Christmas, my mom took me there and she's like, you have X number, dollars to spend. You can get just this one thing, which was the flag, or the next year it was the Defiant, or you can get
Everything
everything
else.
else. Yeah, I mean, so as a kid, you're like, okay, well, I want all the
Everything
stuff,
else. Yeah.
and then I'll get that one thing later. Well, it just never happened.
Yeah.
I still remember going to the toy aisle. I still remember I mean, that store's long gone, but I'm like, okay, it was right here and blah, blah, blah. I remember all that.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I chose not to get it because I wanted the other things. Give me
okay.
all the vehicles and I'll miss just the one big one.
So if you get a loose Defiant, does that check the box or do you need it boxed?
Oh, I love box, but yeah, that I think price wise, they're high anyway. So
Yeah.
um I would like a complete one, which is hard to do. They're brittle and age takes its toll on them. Um, but yeah, I would be happy with, clearly I would be happy with a loose out of the box one. Um, I'd like to get it either get one pretty close and then complete it, get the rest of the stuff. But um, I'm not really worried about the box. I love the box art, and if I could find one, absolutely at the right price. But they're pretty pricey. I saw one at Kokomo Toys for like 2 grand, and I was like, I mean, that's just a lot for one thing, even now. So
Checks the box though.
I know, but
Grail acquired. I'm out. I'm done.
well, and maybe that's the fear though. If you get that Grail, are you done? you know, and I still like to pick stuff up. And so if I get it, maybe that stops it, and there's that I don't really want to stop yet. So
Yeah. Okay. Um. So that's GI Joe. What about Star Wars? Do you have a Grail?
uh not anymore. I mean, I do still want the katana. Um, but I know that's newer. Um, I really don't have anything, I've got everything that I think I would want. Um,
Why didn't you get the katana when it was put up?
I didn't like the price. I didn't like the fact that we were
Crowdfunding it.
crowdfunding a billion-dollar corporation, which is funny because I think I bought every GI Joe HasLab, and I got the Cantina, and I got the Ghost with Star Wars, but I
But you
didn't
learned
get the
your lesson
Katana.
after the first one,
I
right?
I did, yeah, because the price was ridiculous. I did the same thing with Unicron. I was like, I mean, I remember the final day. I was like, nope. And then I kind of wish I would have gotten it because I think that's pretty badass. And I don't do a lot of Transformers, is how I justify that. So,
Yeah. Okay.
but yeah,
So for your two, let's talk about them separately. For GI
yeah,
Joe, what's your most prized piece?
uh, all of it. Um,
Personally, you can grab one.
I
Your man cave's going up in flames. You can grab one. What are you grabbing?
uh, well, it's kind of hard to carry the flag, but I will tell you, childhood wise, it's still Tomahawk.
Oh, the tomahawk.
Yeah.
Super
I
underrated.
right, right. I
Super
mean, it
underrated.
we and again, nostalgia. My brother and I, we had so much fun playing with that at the time,
That was
and
my
it
favorite vehicle, the Tomahawk. I had
right.
the flag. I had the flag. The
Yeah, did you?
Tomahawk was hands down the
Yeah,
best.
I think it had the most playability when we were kids. It
Yeah.
had the most hands-on for sure. And
You
it
could
and
put
it
all the figures inside. It was great.
yeah, and that's it. That's the one, and it survived, so I love it. Um,
Wh- What about Star Wars?
Star Wars, oh, I mean, Millennium Falcon, any edition. So,
Any.
well, yeah, I love the legacy. Um, but well, okay, so no, I think probably is my childhood AT-AT.
Okay.
Um, because I did not get a Millennium Falcon, same deal. Pick this or pick that. I got the AT-AT that year. It was Empire Strikes Back. Had just come out. Same thing. I remember going to the store. I was with my stepmom. It was probably one of the good things that ever happened in that relationship. But she was like, you can get this or you could get that. And man, that AT-AT, I just seen Empire, and it was like, oh, that was so cool, and I still have it, and still got my little name in the inside of it, in Sharpie or something. But I love that AT-AT. So
You had a lot of Sophie's Choice moments as a kid, huh?
yeah, yeah,
This one or this one? It's
yeah.
like, what do I do?
Well, I mean, I remember where I was standing in the store when I had to make the choice, so they stuck with me. Yeah.
Scratching your head. What do I
Yep.
do?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Um, so for the figures recently, is there anything that you've picked up in the last few months that you're kind of happy with?
Uh, well, I mean, it's been about a year, but still the classified Serpentor. Man, that thing is
It's really good, yeah.
yeah, they did a good job on that. I mean, I think the classified line overall has been pretty good. There's been some misses, obviously, but for bringing it up to that scale, which I wasn't a fan of. I do not. I don't think. Well, okay, I've got like two or three Black Series Boba Fett's, and that's it. I never got into it because, again, 3 3/4 is my wheelhouse, and that's where I stuck to. But then Classified came out, and it's GI Joe, and there wasn't anything really 3 3/4, so I had to. I did not get the 00 Snake Eyes. Um, Kind of the same thing as the katana. Actually, I was being stubborn, and I was rejecting the. I was like, 3 3/4. That's where I'm at. And then I was like, I'm not going that scale, and I missed it. I still don't have it, but I think I bought every one since, and I like them, and then that Serpentor is pretty perfect, I think, for the scale up, and then also feeling like the old one. I like it.
Mhm. Okay. So let's get into a little bit of the future. Is there anything that Hasbro could release in either line that would get you excited again?
Um, Star Wars, I don't think so. I think that ship sailed. Um, I just don't. Um, I mean, if they re-release the katana, which I think they're contractually obligated not to. I know we're seeing that Arctic Hiss come back, which is great. I think they should, but um, if they did katana, I'd pick that up on version 2 or version 1. I don't care. I think that's a beautiful vehicle, and I regret not getting it. But I don't think I'll get anything else Star Wars. Um, the Joe, any vehicle they want to release except for the Shark. I'm so over some of that like they did the Awe Striker, and I didn't think it was very impressive. They bring it out every issue of the line, so it's overdone in my opinion.
Mhm.
Shark, same way. I want to see HasLab or otherwise, like They've done land, they've done sea or air. I wanted to see some sea vehicles. I want to see a whale. I want to see a moray. Um,
I want to see
so
command centers.
yeah, I mean, but I still had the idea, and I think there's a practical way to do it that I think most people. How do you do 12 inch or a 6 inch figure scalable GI Joe headquarters?
You make it modular. You build up.
Modular, yes. So I think with the 3D market the way or your 3D print market the way it is now, how about changing your model and releasing the files as some kind of pay-per-view limited release licensed? Here's the file. If you have the printing capability, you can modularly print the front GI Joe base, and then we'll sell you the main section, and you can do the sides. Or I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to be able to see that size or that scaled, even modular. I think it's tough to do on their side. I can't speak to the numbers or anything. It's just me as a collector. I'm like, that's kind of hard, because
I've been after Ace from Ramen Toy to make a
yeah,
GI Joe headquarters,
yeah,
and I got a little bit of his ear. He's just like, show me what you're thinking.
yeah,
And I'm gonna be honest, I have yet to send him and an image. But I told him, I was like, there's like a side, there's a center, and there's
yeah,
another side, and you make it kind of, like you did with the Super Musk.
yeah,
You can get this or you can get the whole set. And the middle one, it has like the command center, it has a prison, you could have whatever else you want there. And then off to the side, you can have, just some peripheral things that you could have a landing pad for your
yeah,
dragonfly. You can have something for the tank that he made. I mean, there's a lot of
yep,
things that you could do. So hopefully he sees the light. He'll probably watch this later.
yeah.
See the light, Ace, and
Ace.
make it.
Yeah,
So
we're out there. There's plenty of us that would buy it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
wish, and that's kind of what I was thinking. There's so many good companies, third party companies that are making this stuff that if there could be some kind of licensing collaboration, which, I think is hard and, logistically and, financially, getting all those fiscal numbers in line. It's hard to get that partnership, but man, it could be wide open. If you could license, like you said, modularly, with do the cartoon version where like you got the centerpiece, center cannon and whatever,
Mhm,
and then those sides, they're kind of pretty much the same, just do them in sections. So you buy one section and it just keeps connecting. You can make it as big as
mhm.
you want. And then the third party comes in with, like you're saying, the tank section or the jail or the something behind the scenes, of that front, you know, facade,
Yeah,
but
we'll see. We'll
where's
see.
that come in at? Yeah,
Yeah,
right, right. We'll see. I'm down for any of it. I mean, I love it. Again, it's
yeah,
GI Joe, and
yeah.
it has to hit on this nostalgia points for me though.
All
Um,
right, man. So towards the end. This is the
okay,
highlight. This is where
yeah,
everybody wants. Show us your collection, man. Let's do it. Come on.
okay.
All
Well,
right, I'm gonna highlight you.
all right.
All right, it's all you.
So this is the room. Just the grand tour here. Now there we are on TV, but here, let's use that. There's Darth Maul.
Okay, where's that from? The mall.
That I got that. It was that Pepsi promotion back in 2000 that
Okay,
they had. It was Frito-Lay, I believe, and Pepsi. They had Darth Maul, they had Anakin, they had Watto and Yoda from Phantom
okay,
Menace. And my buddy won that. Um, we both worked in the mall at the time, and they had some or in the mall kind of drugstore, Osco Drugs here locally.
Yep.
Um, I don't know, and it was you bought a Pepsi or a Frito-Lay product, and you got one little entry into the lottery for it. And I mean, we were there every day. We worked down there, and so it was going to be either him or I, and he won it. And then for 30 years, it was like, hey man, whenever you want to get rid of him, you know, you know, keep it in the family. And he gave me the call a couple weeks ago. He's like, hey man, it's time. We're out of room. They've moved a couple times. They live in a nice little house, but the kids just keep getting bigger. And so he's like, it's time, come get him. So I was like, all right, brother, I'll be down there. And he lives in Indianapolis. I went up there and picked him up, wrapped him up, brought him home.
Nice, nice.
So
Now, what's going on with that paneling behind or to the side of the
okay.
figures?
So that's the room is Star Wars themed. So that's the view out onto the Death Star too.
Yep.
If you can see that there. Oh, I'm trying to work my little guy here. There you
Yep.
go. Now you really can't see it because of all the stuff in front of it, but I did the walls with, they had some behind the figures stuff in the corner. The walls had like some paneling and some, some little they look like the hallways and such, on
You
the
went with a
on the
blue
ship.
color.
Yeah. Well, it changes color, so it's blue
Oh,
today.
it does really. Okay.
It lights up a little better. So,
Nice.
and then all the figures.
Those extremely valuable Power of the
Uh,
Force 2 figures.
yeah. Um, then yeah, you get into the Joe stuff, and here, let me walk
Uh-huh.
around. I built this table last summer for, there you go.
Wow, nice.
And
Very
like I said,
nice.
I don't have all my Joes out yet, but that's where most of them will go. And then there's here, let me it gets a little tight in here, so.
Yep.
But yeah, there's classified stuff, HasLab, Dragonfly, some more.
Nice. Is that
The
an
arcade.
original glider there? That Cobra?
No, those are some PVC gliders that I picked up
Okay.
from some guy on a group. Um,
Because I never had those, so I don't really remember what they look like.
yeah, I mean those look just like it. They're actually pretty nice, but they're like
Okay.
a heart. This is classified scale. Then I've
Okay.
got 3 3/4 scale too, but it's a PVC. I don't know if you can see that white.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of heavy. They don't glide by any means, but they look the part. Um, I'm trying to do my best
And
here.
you got the R2D2 cooler, right?
Yep.
How'd you get that?
Marketplace for next to nothing.
You and these next to nothing prices you're getting your
Yeah.
jeez, man.
Okay, I said the OCD stuff, so it's just what you do all the time. You
Yeah.
search and you look, and it's like, oh hey, oh hey, oh hey,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you just kind of whittle down the price. And there's some of those AT-ATs and stuff. Mm. There's a terror drone that needs severe cleaning. That's my next project.
How many Terra drones do you have?
Just the one.
Okay.
That's the OG. Everything should be there. I think I did break one of those gun turrets that
Uh-oh.
always break. Yeah, so I'll have to find a new one of those, but the rest of it's there.
Okay.
There's the old Action Collection 12-inch stuff that's worth.
Wow.
That's about like the other Power of the Force stuff. It's not worth anything, but it's fun. Yeah, there's Maul.
Nice.
Yeah. Action Collection.
Now, do you collect the movie posters for Star Wars?
Mega Force. Yeah, I used to have a hookup at Toys R Us and at Walmart that would give me like their signage and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So, and it was just, oh, that's another story. Like Toys R Us, you remember they used to have that full size um, Millennium Falcon,
Yeah, that would hang
and
from the ceiling.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I almost won that. Almost doesn't count, but I was right there. But then they had the Naboo fighter later on after that, and they were just throwing it away.
What?
And the lady told me, she goes, "Come here tomorrow, and you can just have it." And I forgot to come here tomorrow. Talk about the biggest
What?
ooh.
We lost him. He's gone. Where did Jedeyeben go? Man, what a room. What a room. Man. Jedeyeben, you still there, my friend? I don't know. It looks like he's trying to get back on. So let's just go into the chat as we wait for Ben to try to plug back into the matrix here. We got KJ in here. What's going on? Darth Guiterres, brother. Thanks for being here. Moose Stream is here. I'm fighting a little bit of a allergy right now, so I'm a little bit congested. Kenneth Toys, all right. Good morning from New Hampshire. What's going on? OG fan, OG Star Wars fan. What's going on, man? Thanks for coming. Appreciate you being here. Jeppa. Oh, I think we got him back. We do have him back. Let's bring him back onto the stage.
Sorry about
There you
that.
go,
My
my
wife
friend.
called.
Okay. So what else we got?
Just some more. There we go. God dang it. I'm not very good at this guy. Sorry. I apologize. Not the best camera work. There's just some more figures, some indie, some micro collection, just everything.
Now, do you have all of the 3 3/4 inch figures for Star Wars,
Not all, but most of them. I'm
including
missing
like the original and the new stuff?
not not vintage.
Yeah,
I've just
not
got a
80
couple of
stuff.
those. Yeah. What the heck is this thing doing? Sorry. Um, yeah, not 80s stuff, but all the newer stuff.
Okay.
So vintage collection, newer vintage collection, and legacy Power of the Force 2 stuff. Basically
Uh-huh.
since 95.
Now, how often are you dusting this room?
Well, not at all yet. Um, it's closed off. There's no HVAC in here yet. I haven't installed it. So it doesn't really blow any dust around. It's not terribly bad.
Okay.
There's some vintage junk, some
Are these your
transformers,
are these your
randoms.
childhood figures here?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Again, not
And
all of them I haven't unboxed.
the boxes you kept from your childhood?
A lot. I mean, some of them, but not enough.
Yeah, never enough, right?
Never enough.
All
Yeah, I think that's it,
right.
man.
All
There's
right,
the
man.
oh, there's my little workstation, restoration station.
Now, how often is your wife in this room?
Rarely.
Living the dream, huh?
Yeah. Come out here and watch some TV, and
Yeah.
I sit and, you know, pedal some or piddle some on some like I said, some restorations, get out the little brushes and the Q-tips and clean stuff up, Um I've got a Ecto 1 HasLab sitting on my desk now to put together.
Wait, you already got it?
Yeah, it came in 2 weeks ago.
I'm still waiting on mine from Japan. So any day, hopefully. Hold on, hold on. Look at this. What? Now, do you have the figures?
Yeah, they're still in package. I haven't. They're just
Okay,
sitting right
so
here.
you haven't put anything in to actually make sure that they fit.
Nope. I got it the other night when on Figure Fight Club, and I haven't been out. I haven't been out here too much. I've been busy, so
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to get mine. I got
yeah.
that
I know
coming
it.
this month and the Sentinels. Expensive month.
The only thing I wish was a little different on it. I mean, it looks beautiful, but it's like perfectly white, perfectly shiny. Which what do you do? What do you ask for on that? Do you want it just like that, or do you want it with like a wash on it? Give it some
Yeah.
age looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it looks good. It's a nice piece.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you get the deluxe or did you get the
Yeah, I
just the
got the
big?
deluxe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, man, we're approaching an hour. I said we'd try to keep it under an hour. I super appreciate you being able to
Oh
join us
man.
today and show
Happy
everybody
to
your
join.
room. It's great.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Um
So,
uh
again, thank you. Really do
no
appreciate
worries.
it. Hopefully, you
Anytime.
dip your toes into other lines and you keep your collecting going.
Well, I
Don't
know
say
a
no.
guy. I know a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I need expert advice, I know a guy. He's got a little bit of an accent, East Coast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now
Yeah.
you're still in the cars though, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
What's your baby for a car?
Well, again, it's kind of changed. I've still got my Camaro 67. I've got two of those. Um, there's several Novas out there. Basically all muscle car stuff.
Yeah.
Um, my daughter is an engineer, and she actually helped design the headlights on the new Mustang. And so it's kind of like a,
You got
proud
to get
dad
one
moment.
just for that.
Well, yeah,
Right?
we went, we actually looked at them because she bought a new one. She bought a 23 Mach 1. And
Okay.
we were looking at the new one. It had just come out. And man, it's just got a big iPad for a dash. Like there is zero design it. It's just this big black, like 3 foot long screen. Looks like a black iPad. I'm like, I'm a
Listen, man,
heritage
I'm
guy.
I'm never in cars anymore. Like I go
Oh,
back to America
yeah.
every couple years and I see cars. Like, what is this thing? Like I
Yeah.
haven't driven a car. I haven't driven a car since 2007.
Oh, I don't know how you do it, man. I love
Well,
driving.
I'm in Tokyo. Like I walk and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hop on the train.
yeah. Limitations of the,
Different world.
yeah. I get it. I get it. I get it.
But yeah, like the tech.
Yeah.
It's like, what? What is this? It's
Yeah.
crazy.
But like, okay, so same thing as an old car guy, I guess now. I see that black screen. I'm like, "Ugh, it's kind of boring.
Get off my
There's
lawn.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. There's no inspiration behind it. It's just a big screen. He's like, but
Yeah.
look when it turns on. I go, yeah, but what do you do when it breaks? I was like, is a Ford,
Yeah.
So, or I say it is a modern big three car. They're gonna break. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. How many cars do you have?
23.
For real? You have 23 functioning cars?
Okay, so functioning is relative, but yeah, there's
Like you turn the
uh,
key and it starts. Let's just say
okay,
that.
so then let's bring it down to about 15.
Wow.
Yeah. I've got several that are in restoration process.
And your wife lets you do all this, huh?
She's not going to stop me either.
Well, she could give you a talking to, right?
Well, she could, but
Is she into anything? Does she have any kind of like hobbies or passions?
yeah, I mean, which is funny because she loves sports. Um, so like if there's a high school game or something like that, she's a principal, she's a teacher, so it's in her wheelhouse. But yeah, if there's a high school function, she's like, "Oh, hey, I'm going to the game." It's like, okay, cool, you know.
But she enjoys going and she doesn't feel
Yeah,
compelled
she
to go.
enjoys it. I'm the introvert of the two of us, believe it or not, and I don't social very well. You know, it's never been my wheelhouse. So,
Yeah.
which case in point is why I
Yeah.
do what I do. Yeah, you know. So we have other hobbies. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she is the she likes to, you know, be out and about, talk to the kids, and do all the, I don't want to say politicking, but you know, all the handshaking, baby kissing. So
Hmm.
that's her.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, she just supports this. She likes doing stuff, you know, here and there with, you know, we I will tell you that before we go, quick story. But '09, we went to Comic-Con in San Diego. Up until we were getting on the flight, she's like, I do not want to go to this. I roped her into going. I'd always wanted to go. I had never been to San Diego Comic-Con. And we were on the you know, the little walk out to the plane, and she's like, I just don't want to go. This is terrible. I don't want to go. I had no interest in going. We go. We went for, you know, 4 days or whatever it was, San Diego, walked around a little bit, went to the con. On the ride to the airport, she goes, "Do you have tickets for next year yet?" She goes, "That was the most fun I've ever had." So we've
Wow.
had some of those adventures and stuff. You know, we do we camp a lot. You know, we talk about
Okay.
traveling. We camp
You have a
all the
camper?
time. Oh yeah, yeah. We camp all the time with through the summer. So
Nice.
we have that. Yeah, that's kind of our getaway stuff. So because when I'm home, I don't stop working. Um,
Uh,
I don't sit down much. This is a lot.
okay. We appreciate it.
Well, no, I appreciate
We do.
it.
You're living the dream, man. You got all these cars, you got all these toys, 2 flags. Jeez.
Uh, but would you call it financial responsibility?
Of course I would.
Oh, well.
$40 for a flag. That's financially responsible. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, no.
All right, man. Like I said, super appreciate it. Really. Thank you for
No, man,
being
it's been
here.
great. Thanks for having me
Um,
on.
do you have any socials that people can kind of follow you and see your
Well,
collection or
I'm on Instagram. I don't, yeah, I mean, I don't post much. I think I'm gonna start. It's never been my thing to share. It's just kind of, this kind of just been for me. Um, but you know, I think obviously people have responded to it well, so maybe I'll put
can
it
I
out there.
post
And
your Instagram? Can I post that
yeah,
for people?
absolutely. Yeah, that's fine, man.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all
Because I know
Jedeyeben.
you post mostly like personal stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No, it's
here he
fine.
is on
It's out there.
Instagram. If you want to click and give him a follow, please do
And
so.
I'll start adding to it. So
Good. Man, everyone's jealous of of your setup, man. Like keep rubbing it in. Like, look at this, look at this, look at
yeah,
this. It's good. All
I
right, man.
appreciate it. You know,
Thank you very
it's just a
much.
fun hobby.
Serious.
So thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Follow Jedeyeben and have a good weekend. So take care.
Take care. Thank you.